Welcome. My name is Catia Gorman, and today we're going to talk about essential oils made easy. So, if you haven't ever heard about essential oils, or maybe you have never really deep dive in it. So, today is your day. So, I'm so glad you are here to take some time and learn how to control a little bit more your health and wellness with more natural solutions. So, I have two kids. I live in Caledon, and my journey with essential oil has been about almost 12 years now when I was suffering a lot from severe seasonal allergies. For 13 years prior to that, I was on medication and I literally tried everything you can name of it. And I was suffering. And the days that it was really bad, I couldn't really take two pills, right? Because they make me really drowsy. So I was at actually a friend's house helping her to move, and that was my first experience of essential oil. Because before, I didn't really know about essential oils. I just thought it was something for hippies, people that maybe it wouldn't work, like medication, just like we all grew up with that mentality, right? So, but I was there. I suffered at her house an asthma attack, and I didn't have my medication because of the boxes and the dust and all of that, the carpet. It really triggered my allergies, and I didn't have my medication there. And that's when she had some essential oils she was been using with her daughter for a long time. She said, let me put some oils in you to buy some time so you can drive home and take your medication. I said, whatever you have, I'll take it. And then when she put some oils on my forehead and the back of my neck and asked me to breathe it in, and I did. And literally within 5-10 minutes, I was feeling so much better that I actually forgot about it. I finished helping her, and then I went home. I never really needed my medication that day. And the next day I called her and I said, what exactly did you put it on me? And she said, it was just lavender, lemon, peppermint. Those three essential oils helped me for the last 12 years. It's been an amazing journey. And because of that, I started learning to use for different things. And then as a mom, we have lots of different things that happens all the time with our kids, with ourselves. And I started learning, I started using it. And then it just became a mission because as we learn something that works, we want to share with everybody, right? So I don't like to see people suffering. So my mission is really to teach everyone to use more natural solutions. That's why I'm here to help empower you. And you're going to learn at least three things cool about essential oils, three ways to use them, and how to get them in your home. So before that, I want you to think what are your top three health concerns. We all have concerns, things we want to make it better, but I want you to think about three at least. And some of them are some ideas on the screen, but it could be something else. It could be maybe you get sick all the time, right? You have immunity issues, your immunity is very low. Maybe you stress and have a lot of anxiety. We all have some of those, right? Maybe you have a lot of energy issues. You always fatigue and you don't have any energy to go through your day. You're living on coffee or energy drinks, right? Maybe you have a lot of headaches and migraines. Maybe you have sleep issues. That's a big one today, right? Or maybe it's pain and inflammation. Lots of pain, digestive issues, blood sugar regulation, the list goes on. So I want you to think about those because we're going to be talking about some of those today. And I want you to understand what creates disease in the body. So there's those three main things that creates disease in the body. The first one is nutrient deficiency. We know our food chain today is very depleted. We know that the soil depleted. They change, genetically modify the food. Today, to get the same nutrition as we would get 50 years ago in an orange, we had to eat 8 oranges to compare to one orange that was just 50 years ago, just to put things in perspective for you. So our food is really nutrient less, right? The second one is inflammation. So this is where it's super important for us to keep our inflammation low. Most of the diseases starts at inflammation, and we needed to keep it down. And this is a battle we're going to have for the rest of our lives because inflammation we get it from everywhere. And some things you have control, some things you don't. But I would really recommend for you to know where you are at this moment. There is a test called CRP, C-reactant protein. I really recommend you to take that to make sure you know where your level of inflammation, because some disease does not come up right away. It's brewing in your body for a long time, and you don't want it to know when it's too late. So we want to know what your level of inflammation right now is, so that way you can fight with lots of different things, with diet, with supplements, with exercise, because that's what we needed to do for long term. And then toxic overload, that's a big one, even though we don't see it, but it's everywhere. So some things here you can control, like for example, the products you bring home, the products you put it in your body. Our skin is our largest organ in our body. Anything you put it here goes in, good or bad. So anything from our personal care products to our skincare to cleaning products in our home, that's a huge one. So I really want to pay attention to those things. And here's just some types of inflammation. So it could be anywhere from headaches to migraine to joint pain to mental illness like anxiety, depression, stress, right? Some types of cancer, some metabolic disease like diabetes, and the list goes on, right? There's lots of different kinds of one. But I'm excited to share with you, with a book in a box, you can be a solutions finder, a solutions provider in your home for all the things that happens to us over time. And we know that our healthcare today is based solely on medication, right? Based solely on symptoms. And the pharmaceutical companies make the medication, the doctor prescribes, and we patients, we use them, right? So we know there is a big problem with healthcare. We know it's everywhere in the world, not just here. There's lots of money poured into the healthcare system. But the question is, are we any healthier? The answer is no, even with that money, right? So we do know there's two ways to take care of our health. One of them is modern medicine. The second one is natural solutions, right? So very important for us to understand those two. And I'm not against modern medicine. I think there is its place. I need it in the past, and I think it saves a lot of lives on different ways. But what I'll try to tell people is start at natural solutions first. And then if you need a big intervention, yes, go to natural modern medicine, but don't do that right away, right? We wanted to have to address the root causes without any side effects, right? And we know that the biggest drug problem in the world is not just street drugs, is actually prescription drug abuse. We know we start with one medication and soon enough we're going to be in another one. So we need a solution for that solution. So that's not a really good sort of cycle to be in our health, right? And the bottom line is really modern healthcare is simply not well care. It does not focus on prevention. It focuses on symptoms, right? You go to the doctor, you tell your symptoms, you leave with a prescription med, right? It's a very sort of a firefighter mentality, like an ambulance mentality, right? So you have something, let's put the fire down now. How about we work more with an intention? We work more to address the body needs and the root causes for long term. Having a wellness mindset is really important for us long term, right? To really use things without side effects. Now, as we talk about essential oils, you can see them everywhere. You can see a Walmart, you can see the Winners, you can see even a Best Buy has essential oils, even though they don't make anything. But it's because a lot of us are tired of using other things. So we want a more natural solutions. And essential oils has been here since the beginning of time. So if you look at here, the Egyptians already used essential oils with health and cosmetics and religious purposes, right? We see the Hippocrates, which was the father of modern medicine. He used plants with his patients. That's how he had, right? Through the Bible, you can see frankincense and myrrh, one of the main oils in there. We have lots of other ones, very important oils, by the way. We're going to talk about some of them. And through the wars, the nurses, all they had was essential oils and plants. So they used that with their soldiers, right? So it's not a new fad, it's not a new thing, but as a global society, we kind of became this microwave society, right? If you have a headache, you want to gone now. If you have a backache or cramps, you want to gone now. So you pop a Tylenol every time or Advil every time you have one. But did you know that Tylenol is one of the biggest cause of kidney failure in North America because it became a little candy on people's purse, right? So we wanted to avoid that, right? So now, what really is essential oil, right? If I open the bottle of essential oil right now here and leave it open, there is live molecules that we don't see with our eyes, but literally jump off the bottle. So the whole room is going to smell. So we keep our bottles always shut, right? But the essential oils, they are extract from different parts of a plant. So it could be the root of a plant, it could be the seeds, it could be the flower, it could be the trunk of a tree, it could be so many parts. When we're talking about a citrus essential oils, like for example, a lemon, a lime, or grapefruit, we actually extract from the rind of the fruit. So if you see here on the picture, these little white sacks, those is where the essential oil is concentrated on the fruit. So it's on the rind of the fruit here. So when you cut it open, that's why you get all the smell, because when you pick it up an orange first, it doesn't smell much, right? But as soon as you cut it open, you are ripping those little sacks, and that's where the essential oil is stored in there. It's the same thing if you pick up a peppermint leaf, same thing. You don't smell much, but if you go like this, it's when you kind of breaking the sacks in there, right? Now, the essential oils, if they are pure, they are very concentrated. So think about 50 to 70% more concentrated than the herb itself. And they affect us on the cellular level. That is so important. So if I put a drop of essential oil in my hand right now, it's literally going to take 2 minutes for that one drop to reach my bloodstream. And it's going to go from cell to cell to cell to cell. Literally in 20 minutes, it's going to reach all the cells in my body. And you know, we have trillions of cells, right? I find this absolutely fascinating. And then if you're going to smell the essential oil, so you put a drop here and you breathe it in or use it in your diffuser in 22 seconds. 22 seconds is actually going to reach your limbic system, which is responsible for your memory, your emotions, right? Very important. Aromatherapy is proven to be very effective because that really reach your limbic system so fast. Like think about if you ever been put it under on surgery. They don't inject you with something. They actually put you a mask with a medication. So that smell is to reach your limbic system to send messages to you to go to sleep. They say count it to 10 by 5, you're already sleeping. So that's how fast they know they can reach your limbic system that fast. It's through smell. So very important, right? Now, they are very safe if you are using a pure essential oil. Like, for example, peppermint from doTERRA, one drop is equivalent of 28 cups of peppermint tea. That's very, very concentrated. So I use peppermint for a lot of things. But if I had you in front of me now, I put a drop in your hand, I'll take it like this, and you put it like this, right on the roof of your mouth for literally 5 seconds. And then you go like this, you make a little cup with your hands, put on top of your nose, and you breathe it in deeply, and then you're gonna notice instantaneously, because that when you're breathing that in is gonna go to your lungs and back. It's gonna open up all of your airways, and that means if you were congested, if you had a sinus infection, it's gonna open up. It's gonna give you more energy, right? It's gonna wake you up. It's like your natural Red Bull, right? So it's really, really, really good for go for a run in the morning when you're kind of tired, or that mid slump, like around 2 o'clock, you need another coffee. Just use a drop of peppermint, or if you driving long distance is very good. I also use peppermint for bringing the temperature down. I haven't used Tylenol in my family in almost 12 years, or Advil, because we want a fever. Fever is important, but you want it to bring it down, right? So peppermint brings it down, your body temperature, and I use in conjunction with lavender. So I put it on their spine line, on their forehead. I also use with women on menopause. So if you have those hot flashes, there's nothing can help you with. So just a drop of peppermint here in the back of your neck. And then even if you're gardening outside or running, it's kind of like your portable air conditioning, right? So very, very powerful that way. And then it's very effective. Sometimes we think natural stuff doesn't work as effective as a medication, but it does. Like if you think about, we are made up of cells, lots and lots of cells. And think about my hand as one cell, and around the cell is a membrane. This membrane is made of oil. So now if you go to the doctor this week and say you have a viral infection, you can see here in the picture the virus is inside of a cell, and then it proliferates in there and then transfer protein, and it just proliferates inside of our cell. Now 90% of antibiotics are water-based. And what happened to water and oil? They don't mix, right? So the antibiotic has no power to cross the barrier, the cell membrane, to go inside and kill the virus. Otherwise, they already had given you antibiotics for that, right? That's why we've seen through the pandemic, they couldn't give us anything because it was a virus. But if you have a bacterial infection, though, it's outside of the cell, as you can see here. And then you go in with an antibiotic, and then you try to treat that bacteria. Now, Did you know that one round of antibiotic takes about 2 years to completely flush out of your system? So that's why your immune system gets weakened and weakened all the time. And now, oil is an oil. It has the power to cross the brain, the cell membrane, go inside and helps, right? So that's super important for us to do that with the essential oil. And I'm going to show you here a video so you can understand a little bit better.
Bacteria have the ability to change their genetic makeup over time for their own self-preservation. Bacteria have their own defensive mechanism. They produce something called a peptidoglycan layer. It's the equivalent of an M&M shell that's protecting the chocolate on the inside. Now, one of the other elements that bacteria are very, very good at making, and that is something called a biofilm. Biofilm is its own very goopy, slimy mess that it covers itself in. So what's now starting to happen is we are finding that once very useful antibacterial medications are no longer effective at all. What that means for us, we have to use stronger antibacterial medications. We have to use more potent antibacterial medications. That comes at a cost to our own bodies. Melaleuca has the ability to come in and start to modify that sludge and remove it so that the oregano can get to the bacteria. And in oregano, there's a product called carvacrol. Carvacrol will bind to that peptidoglycan and it punctures a little hole in there. Once that hole opens, you start to get a passing of ions back and forth. What that does to the bacteria is it allows it to lyse. It means burst open. And we've now accomplished something very dramatic, and that is by doing nothing more than using 2 simple little plant-based essential oils, you have created a very effective antibacterial solution.
Isn't that amazing that 2 essential oils that can create that powerful antibacterial solutions? And I always like to teach this little recipe so you can take a screenshot. I like to call my immunity booster, my immunity bomb. I take this religiously for the last 12 years, morning and night, because I want a prevention, right? So the first one here I want to mention to you that's part of this immunity booster is frankincense. Frankincense is the king of oils. Frankincense is an oil that is so potent for a lot of things. One of them is immunity over here. Another thing is very important to regenerate your cells every day. So when it regenerates your cell, it promotes apoptosis. So that means you get rid of your mutant cells, and it does prevent those big C words out there. The second thing frankincense does is helps to produce more serotonin in our gut, which is responsible for our happy hormones. So I'll take more of those happy hormones at any time. Very, very important for emotional support. Frankincense is also good for the skin, so you can add it to your moisturizer. It's good for scars. It's good for so many different things, psoriasis and eczema and all those kind of things. We always have frankincense in there. And then we have lemon. Lemon is your detoxifier. So having lemon essential oil every day detoxifies your body, helps you to regulate to go to the bathroom. It helps your blood sugar, helps so many things in there. Then we have this blend here is a blend of 5 essential oils. It's called On Guard. So it's literally your soldier, it's your immunity booster. One of the oils here, so important, is clove. Clove is the highest antioxidant in the world. It really helps to boost your immunity. So very, very important to take it every day. And then we have melaleuca, which is also known as a tea tree. Tea tree is a very important essential oil that helps fungal and bacteria and virus. It just helps you to keep it healthy all the time. And then we also have copaiba. I'll talk a little bit later, but it is good for immunity here. And then oregano here, we don't take it every day. I take oregano to boost my immunity for about 10 days, and then I take it out. Oregano is your big soldier, is your antibiotic, your natural antibiotic. So I bring oregano in if I have an infection, like a UTI or a wart or, a flu or something like that, then you bring oregano, right? So I normally take 2 drops of them in the morning and then 2 drops at night on a little shot glass with water. If you don't like the taste or when you're taking oregano, it's very hot oil, I put it on a veggie capsule. You open an empty capsule made of vegetable, put 2 drops in there, and you can take it. This is so important for immunity, right? Now, essential oils are affordable. So when you think about drops, cents per drop. So if you had an ear infection, so we don't, the only three places we don't put essential oil is inside your eyes, inside of your ears, and inside of your nose. Anywhere else you can use essential oils, even places you don't think you can. But if you have an ear infection, you're going to get a cotton ball, and you're going to put 2 drops of lavender, 2 drops of tea tree, and you're going to put the cotton ball inside, and you're going to rub 1 or 2 drops of those oils outside a few times a day for a couple of days. I have done this in numerous times with my son because he always had ear infections all his life, and all they gave it to him was antibiotics, right? And this cost you 44 cents per drop, so that's not a lot. Now, if you have an upset stomach, or you have motion sickness, you have nausea, you have acid reflux, maybe you're constipated, maybe you bloated all the time, or have a lot of gas, right? So you have this blend. It's called Zengest. It has ginger, fennel, peppermint, anise, all of the things that's good for your tummy. So you're going to use 1 or 3 drops at a time. You can put it under your tongue in a little bit of water. You can rub it out on your belly, and it's 51 cents per application. This is a blend that works right away. Within 10-15 minutes, you feel so much relief. It's unbelievable. You can also use with pregnant women. It's very safe, right? Now, how do you use essential oil, the doTERRA essential oil? We use automatically, topically, and internally. So automatically is on the diffuser. You use it when you breathe it in. It's very good for respiratory, to cleanse the air, for sleep support, right? Topically, I like to say put it where it hurts. So you're going to put it whether it's on your back, in your joints, in your knees, on a cut that maybe you have, on an acne, anything that you want to use directly. And you can also use them internally. Yes, you can use doTERRA essential oils, only doTERRA essential oils internally. And I use them for different reasons. Like I have grapefruit on my water right now. I love the citrus oils in my water because it helps me to drink more water. It helps with emotion support. It helps with energy, detoxifies my body. And it helps with cravings. It helps with different things that you can use. But only doTERRA essential oils. And I'm going to tell you why. I wanted to drive this point with you because with all this popularity in essential oils in the last few years, it really increased the adulteration and synthetic dominance in the market, right? So now not all the essential oils are created equal. They look like the same, but they are not the same. So what makes an oil impure? So there's lots of things. They take things out, they add things in to make it more, because most of the companies nowadays, because there's a lot of demand, they don't make the essential oil. They use brokers all over the world. They have no idea where the oils come from. So it's very actually dangerous. Instead of you thinking you're putting some natural things on you, is actually you putting toxins on you, right? So very, very different, very, very unhealthy. So what I want to show you here is the map of doTERRA. doTERRA is the largest essential oil company in the world, and it is in 45 different countries where they actually source the essential oil. And why is that important? Super important. The weather makes a difference, the climate, the soil, the geographic location, the time that you pick the plant makes a huge difference on the essential oil and the properties and the chemistry of the plant, right? It's kind of like if you talk about having a mango from where it's the nature and try to plant a mango here, even in a greenhouse, it's never going to be the same nutritionally, and the taste and the actual nutrients of that fruit is the same with essential oils. Where it comes from, it matters a lot, right? So it's very important to know that where your oil comes from. And doTERRA has a certification because this industry is not regulated by the government. So you and I can plant an essential oil on the backyard and can say it's pure, natural, organic, and they're not checking. The law is 3%, only needs to be 3% of essential oil in the bottle. The rest, they can put anything. And just to put things in perspective, just one bottle of lemon oil needs 75 lemons to make a 15 ml of essential oil. So that you can see the adulteration, right? They mix all of the things. They're not going to put 75 lemons in there because it's that. doTERRA does. So that's so important. doTERRA created the certification. It's called CPTG, Certified Pure Tested Graded. And they actually send it to a third party for testing to make sure the oils are pure. There's nothing mixed with that. And you can actually check here on sourcetoyou.com Every bottle of doTERRA has a lot number that traces back all where the oil comes from, and it has and tells you exactly what is in that bottle, just that plant material, right? So that's really important because there's no pesticides, there's no chemicals, beyond organic. And that's why I use with pregnant women, I use with babies, newborn, I use with my pets, I use with my kids. So it's a lot safer when you're thinking about that. That's so important, not just any essential oil, right? So now let's talk about a few different things that we all go through and we use essential oils for. So the respiratory support, right? It's really important. If you suffer anything like I did, seasonal allergies, congestion, sleep apnea, or maybe you have trouble breathing at night, asthma, any of those kind of things, we use this blend here. It's called Easy Air. Easy Air, it is amazing. It has all different essential oils: peppermint, rosemary, eucalyptus. It really opens up your airways. So it's very important. If you have asthma, for example, you put 1 or 2 drops here, you make a little cup like this, and you suck it in, and you hold it, you release it a few times, just like you would with your puffer, right? So you can use that until you feel comfortable to opening up your airways. You can put in a diffuser. It's so helpful for that. Now, I love to teach this recipe because it's so easy. It's a cough syrup. Most cough syrups has full of toxins out there. So this one, you just need 1 teaspoon of local honey, 1 drop of lemon, 1 frankincense, 1 on guard, 1 peppermint. It's amazing. It really soothes that back of your throat, right? Because nowadays, we can't really cough anymore around people, right? They think we are sick all the time. So this is very good. You can give it to your kids. It's so easy. For runny nose, I use lavender, tea tree, and lemon. You put it on a roller ball, then you can just roll it on around the nose and things like that. For sinus, I love to use just a hot, like a mug. You get some hot water. You put just 1 drop of peppermint, 1 of oregano, 1 lemon, 1 tea tree, and then you close your eyes. You go on top of it. You inhale that. Put a towel on top of you and just inhale that. It's gonna help to relieve your mucus, and it's really gonna help any respiratory that you have. So easy to do, so simple to do, right? Now, let's talk a little bit about pain, right? We all going to experience pain. Lots and lots of people, lose productivity, lose job days, like you don't go to work, lose money. It costs a lot of money to not just to you, but to the companies as well, because they don't have the employees there. So pain is so important for you to try to deal with it naturally, because some of the medications just managing the pain. So for example, if you have arthritis or fibromyalgia, there's no cure for that, but all you're going to be doing is taking those Voltaren or naproxen or those kind of things. But that's really makes a havoc in your system, right? So doTERRA is so famous for their deep blue line. Deep blue has wintergreen, so good for bringing the pain and inflammation down. So we have deep blue oil, we have deep blue capsules, which is really supports people with chronic pain. My husband has osteoarthritis, so that's why we use with him, because if I would use all this naproxen that they gave it to him, oh my goodness, he would have no kidneys left so far, right? We also have turmeric capsules, which has a dual chamber capsules, is a time release capsule, really good to cure inflammation in your body because it has curcuminoids, also has turmerones, is double of the to help your inflammation. And then also we have copaiba. Now, copaiba is an oil that comes from the Amazon, is a resin. It really supports your endocannabinoid system. So important for all of the things you see here on the screen: your liver, your cardiovascular system, your immune system, digestive system, neurological and respiratory. But one main thing I love to say about copaiba is amazing for pain because it has the same compound. It's called BCP, beta caryophyllene, as the cannabis plant, as the CBD oil, but it's clean. It does not have a THC. It's much more cleaner. It has 20% more of the BCP, so that means it stays longer in your body for pain and inflammation. It really helps with inflammation. And I also use copaiba for sleep, for calming the nerves, for kids on the spectrum or adults on the spectrum with autism, ADD or ADHD is amazing for that. So you can use, as you can see, one oil is good for a lot of different things, right? I like to say they have side benefits not side effects, right? So it's so important in that way. So you can use the same one. And now let's talk about emotions, right? We all have them, sometimes at the same minute, right? The most important thing for us is to balance our emotions, right? And our emotion is very connected to our sleep. Sometimes if you are stressed, you can't sleep. And if you can't sleep, then you stress during the day. And some people have a hard time falling asleep, and some people have a hard time staying asleep. Now, sleep is so important. We always say, who needs to sleep anyways, right? I can sleep when I'm dead. No, that's not true. It is so important. Sleep helps your immune function, is a 70% reduction in natural killer cells. It helps your cardiovascular health at night. So we don't kind of connect those two together, but it's so important. It promotes apoptosis in your body to get rid of the bad cells that we don't want it to stay there for those cancer cells. So it's so important for us to do that. And this is an area that aromatherapy helps so much. Sleep and stress. We have many different oils that can help you with that. Lavender is one of them, frankincense, balas, copaiba, lots of different oils you can put in a diffuser at night. All night long is going to help with your keeping your brain activity down so you can kind of focus and have the REM sleep that we need, right? Now, for those of you that have insomnia, we also have a capsule that has not only essential oils, but has herbs as well, and it helps to produce your own melatonin. We don't want synthetic melatonin. We want an actual natural melatonin. So you can take 1 or 2 natural capsules before bedtime. So I love this picture because it gives you a sample. It's a blood sample of a blood before you apply 1 drop of essential oil. In this case, we use Balance, which is a grounding blend for stress. So you can see here on the left, you can see your cells all crumped up together. You can see on the right side, 30 seconds after, your cells are moving, has more oxygen, and it's just doing its job, right? So it does make a huge difference in your health for sure. Now, I could not talk about nutrient deficiency, right? So it's really important when you're not having your daily nutrients met, lots of things happen in a house. Just like at the beginning I said about inflammation, right? You're going to have cardiovascular issues, hormone imbalance can occur, your metabolism is going to get impacted, and the conditions you already have can make it worse. So you can see here in Canada, for example, we have the percentage is that we're not reaching the percentage, the population is not reaching the percentage of what we need. So you can see vitamin D, we are low 93%. Well, that's a given because we live in North America. We are all deficient on vitamin D, but vitamin E is 60%, magnesium 40%, vitamin A 40%, calcium 53%, vitamin C at 35%. You can see this is a very low numbers that's reaching what we need, right? Now, it's so important to eat healthy, but it's very difficult to eat healthy because we cannot get everything, like I said at the beginning, from our diet. So supplementation is a key for balancing your health long-term, for killing inflammation, and not as much as also taking supplement is not so much what you take, is so much what you absorb, because most of the supplements also in the market, they are adulterated, right? There's not what is in the bottle. They are mostly synthetic. That means when you take it, it bypasses your body and you don't really get what you need. So doTERRA is actually the largest essential oil company in the world in 54 countries now, but it's also the #1 product sold is as supplements because it is whole food supplements. So you can have here, this first one is a microplex. This is all of your vitamins and minerals from A to Z, vitamin A, calcium, magnesium, but it also has whole foods. So you have Brussels sprouts, spinach, kale, and all of those things we don't eat in big quantities. Then we have omega. Now, omega is the major supplement you should take. We all should take it. Omega-3s kill inflammation in your body, and omega-6 creates inflammation in your body. We have a huge difference in ratio omega-6 to omega-3, 1 to 20, because most of the foods on the market, they have omega-6 that creates inflammation. So but there is an omega-3s, and we don't produce omega-3s in our body. So it's very important. It's so important for your heart, so important for everything in our body. And then the third one is alpha CRS. This is your cellular antioxidants. This is all of the things you need to combat free radicals, and it takes care of your mitochondria to give you energy. That's your powerhouse, right? So you have CoQ10, ginkgo biloba, turmeric in here, have all the things that's going to help you to give you more energy. So it's super important for your health. And the other one that I really recommend for your health in general is probiotics. It's very important to take care of your gut. Um, all the 70% of your immunity is in your gut. 90% of your serotonin is producing in your gut. So your gut is the powerhouse, is the central thing for your whole health. So if your gut's not doing well, guess what? Nothing else is doing well. So having a probiotic is super important. And this probiotic, the probiotic has to get to your colon. If on the way down it gets killed by the acid in your stomach, it's not effective, right? So this one has a prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic. It gets straight to your colon, is protected by a duo encapsulated, and then it really gets where it's supposed to go. So really, really healthy. You just need to take one a day. So here is a screenshot if you want to take a screenshot. This gives you a bit of an idea of your medicine cabinet, of your mood and emotional support, of the pain and inflammation, and your immune support. That helps you a little bit of everything that gives you that idea, right? So you were able to learn so far at least three cool things about essential oils. There's three ways to use essential oils. And then now I'm going to show you how to get them in your home, right? Because we can learn so many things. And if you don't put them in practice, it's just like knowing you have to exercise, but you don't exercise, right? So doTERRA has over 150 essential oils, but we're not going to use them all. So they put together different intro kits for you at the beginning. So that way you have the main oils to make different recipes, different more than 300 ways to use them just with the 10 essential oils. This is your family sort of health cabinet medicine, right? So the ones for everything that you need. And then I want to show you there's three ways you get the oils in your home. The first one is retail. It's the most expensive way. You perhaps can buy them on a spa or maybe at a chiropractor. There's another way is a wholesale. So wholesale is 25% off. Today I'm going to focus on below wholesale because I do like to save money. And when you start using essential oils with doTERRA, you actually get a lot of education because you needed education to learn how to use them. So you're going to get a free course of 8 to 10 classes that's going to show you how to use them effectively. You're going to have recipes for stress and sleep. You're going to have for women's and health hormones. You're going to have for nutrition. You're going to have for all different kinds. So that's going to be all free for you. And you're also going to have a free wellness consult. So we go over everything that you get at first, and we make all the protocols for you for the morning, afternoon, and evening for each member of your family. So which is kind of important. Now, the first kit I want to show you is the 10 oils. That is the biggest bottle of doTERRA. So it has 15 mLs. It gives you about 300 drops. And here it has 10 essential oils. Most of the oils we talk about today. And one of them here is frankincense. Frankincense, as I mentioned, is the king of oils. Just frankincense alone is over $100 oil. So when you buy as a kit, it's much cheaper. So it becomes $37 an oil. And then you get 2 diffusers for free with this kit, which is very nice because you want to use one in your living room, one in your bedroom, or one in your kids' room, and it gives you that ability to do that. So this covers everything: immunity, respiratory, stress, pain, digestive issues, all the things that we talk about, right? And then we also have ones called healthy habits. So maybe perhaps you want to more focus on your wellness in terms of your vitamins and your supplements, your gut long term. So this one gives you all the supplements, including probiotics and digestive enzymes, includes also frankincense and 6 different oils. That's going to also help your stress, your sleep, your pain, and it gives you more of a baseline for you to start a long term. And this one is $285, including all of them. And it also gives you a free diffuser, right? And then we have a smaller starter kit. So it's exactly like the first one. You get a free diffuser. The oils will be 5 mLs. They give you 100 drops, which is still a lot because you only use with doTERRA 1 or 2 drops at a time, right? So that gives you a lot on that. And that's $210. This is going to last you for at least 3 to 6 months in your home if you use it every day. And it's only $21 an oil, which is really affordable, right? Or we can make your own kit. So if you have different conditions, if you want to customize, we can also customize it for you. And That's very important. If you want to take a screenshot of these, we have an amazing community on Facebook. It's a free education for you. You can ask to join. It's a private one, so you have to ask to join. We educate it in there. We post videos how to use the oils. We have free education, three different classes. So you're more than welcome to join this. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I also teach it in there. So it's always good to have different forms of education, right? And if you wanted to have a free health survey to see where you are and where you should be focusing on, just scan this QR code, and it's going to get for you a free gift at the end when you fill that up. But it's going to focus and help you to know which area will be best for you to focus on, right? So the next step, if you're watching this, here is my phone number. If you wanted to reach out with some questions, maybe you have different questions for your different ways of using them, or maybe how to start it for your family, and what would you like to focus on. So my telephone number is 647-296-4405. You're more than welcome to reach out with some questions and get a free wellness consult. So my gift to you is, if you text me or call me, I'd love to give you a free wellness consult where we go over all of the things that you have in your family or things you want to focus on. And that way we can customize it for you, because that's really important, right? We know that good health never goes out of style. It's one of the important things that we wanted to do for health long term. And I'm glad that you came to see this class to learn more and take this education and actually put it into practice. That is so important. When we learn something, we put it into practice, right? And you wanted to have a safe and pure essential oils for your health. And I can give you different solutions that you can give. So I'm glad you were here. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope to hear from you so I can help you to start your journey. It's a beautiful journey. I've been on it for 12 years, and I recommend it. It helps you in so many ways for you and your family. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking time for your health.